On March 2nd, I went and saw The Batman in cinemas. The film was nearly 3 hours long, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. In this video, I will be giving my review of The Batman. For the most part, this review will be spoiler-free, although there will be a spoiler review section towards the end, where I will speak in more detail. So if you haven't seen the film, make sure that when we reach that part of the video, that you click off or skip past it to the conclusion, which is spoiler free, and go buy some tickets for the film. Like, I won't waste your time on that. You should go watch the film. It's really good. Now, let's begin. To begin, I very much enjoyed that this film was very different from any other live-action Batman film out there. It has a very unique identity, even when compared to other Batman films like The Dark Knight, which set a very high standard for any new Batman films. It obviously did take some inspiration from the Chris Nolan Batman films, but it very much is its own thing and does its own thing. Mainly the film is a lot darker than the Chris Nolan Batman films, and is less of a action, crime, drama film, and is more of a detective, mystery thriller style film. And this really does complement the film, as it's more focused on Batman as a detective. I mean, one of his titles is World's Greatest Detective. So the film very much is a detective thriller film, mostly focusing on Batman and Gordon trying to solve the whole mystery behind the Riddler and the corruption within Gotham, which was actually very interesting. The film was just genuinely thrilling. At almost every moment through this film, I was genuinely on edge. The film is genuinely unpredictable. This mostly works as well because of the film's pacing. The film's pacing was on point. At no point did the film feel too fast or too slow. And despite how long the film is, it actually managed to keep me engaged the entire time. One thing I can really appreciate about this film is the film's sets. Fuck me, they were awesome. Especially Bruce's home, which gave off this very sort of depressing vibe to it. Almost like a reflection of our dark and brooding hero. Now let's talk about the music. Film's music was fucking awesome. Big shout out to Michael Giacchino, who fucking nailed this soundtrack. Honestly, it just fit the film so well. Alright, now let's talk about the cast, because the cast did a fucking awesome job in this film. Robert Pattinson as Batman was great. Pattinson really embodies a younger, more aggressive Batman who is relatively new to crime fighting, still trying to figure things out, but also sort of thinking at the same time that he has everything figured out, only to learn that he doesn't. He really did sell me on the role of the young, brooding Dark Knight, who spends all of his time in seclusion, away from the people of Gotham, until nighttime, when he takes to the streets as Batman. But what I must really compliment him on is that he very much sold me on sort of Batman as a more vulnerable character, and showing us sort of the traumatized Bruce Wayne behind the mask of the Batman. Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon was really good. Like, he gave great life to the role of the conflicted James Gordon, who, while wanting to work within the rules of the department, is also aware that sometimes rules need to be broken to get things done. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman was pretty good. Found her performance of Selina Kyle to be very convincing. I could easily say that she is the best live-action version of Catwoman. Andy Serkis as Alfred was actually a pretty good pick. Like, I honestly don't know why, but I just never really pictured Andy Serkis as Alfred, but honestly, he does a really good job of embodying the concerned Alfred Pennyworth, who, while he assists Bruce with his work as Batman, also kind of disapproves of it. Okay, there is no fucking way that that is Colin Farrell. Although Colin Farrell as the Penguin was pretty damn good. Like, I really enjoyed every moment that the Penguin was on screen. Paul Dano as Riddler. Holy fucking shit. This guy steals the show when he is on screen. I loved his performance. Genuinely. I did not go into this film thinking that the Riddler would be this good, but bro, he nailed it. I actually think he was a very good choice for being cast as Riddler, because holy shit, this guy looks really friendly. Like, you would never pin this guy as being a psychopathic murderer. Like, he genuinely looks like one of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. So yeah, props to Paul Dano, man. He did a fucking awesome job. The rest of the cast in this film were also really good, although I don't really have too much time here. Like, if I were to talk about every cast member that I liked, we would be here forever. All I'm gonna say is that everyone did a very good job in their roles, and they were honestly very well cast. So yeah, props to whoever was in charge of casting. Alright, time for the things I didn't like. I actually don't really have much to say here. Like, all I can really complain about is that the film was kinda long, but honestly, that's hardly a complaint, since the film was still very well paced and managed to keep me engaged the entire time. Okay, here is the part where I talk with spoilers, so make sure you click off if you haven't watched the film, or you skip ahead to the conclusion, because I am serious here that there are heavy spoilers. I'm about to just drop the entire film on you right here. Spoilers. Deep breaths. Riddler fucking floods Gotham. What the fuck? Like, holy shit. This is one awesome way to just kick the film into 9th gear. This film's third act was nuts. Like, Gotham getting flooded and the Riddler basically having organized a mass shooting really threw me for a loop. I really liked it because that was something I just never saw coming. That was something that nobody would have seen coming. On top of that, the film's ending was just brilliant. I was genuinely surprised by how uplifting the ending was, since, you know, the rest of the film was kind of depressing. Honestly, having Batman realize that he can give hope to people instead of just making people fear him really worked very, well. Seeing Batman actually save people from, like, the flood and, you know, people actually, like, happy to see Batman contrasted really well with the beginning of the film, where Batman saves this old man from, like, a group of thugs on the street. Even the old man was afraid of Batman, the same way the thugs were. So it contrasts really well with that moment. I also thought that the way they connected Batman and Riddler's origin stories was really well done, having Bruce's father partially be responsible for the death of Riddler's father. Which, by the way, big shout out to Paul Dano again, who just really sold me on the insanity of Riddler. Like, oh my god, I'm genuinely haunted by the way he just kept repeating Bruce Wayne in fucking Arkham, bro. That was like, oh, bro, that was perfect. To conclude, The Batman is an amazing, well-paced detective thriller film about an emo man who has way too much money and free time, with great music, acting, set design, everything. Yes, the film is very good. You didn't need me to tell you this. It's a very long film as well, so if you go watch it, make sure that you take a massive piss before you watch it, so that you don't have to go to the toilet midway through the movie. Anyway, thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments what you thought of the film. If you've seen it, try to keep it spoiler-free, and also, let me know what you thought about this review. I haven't done a film review in a while, like, it's been 3 years, and my last film review was absolute trash. So I'd appreciate some feedback, and let me know if I should do more of these. But that's all for today's video, so until the next one, piss off.